Yes! Yes, it's here! Oh my gosh! Oh! I'm so happy right now, in case you haven't noticed. BioWare presents Dragon Age, the Veilguard. Hello and welcome everyone, Angel Arts here. And yes, welcome to a brand new Dragon Age Let's Play. And not just any Dragon Age Let's Play, another Dragon Age Gay Let's Play. For those of you who are new to the channel, hi, my name is Angel Arts. Thank you so much for joining me. The Dragon Age franchise has a very special spot in my heart because it is the franchise that really got me started in doing video game Let's Plays more than 10 years ago. I ended up not realizing what a Let's Play was until I just kind of stumbled upon Dragon Age Origins Let's Plays on YouTube, and I was thinking to myself, that would be kind of interesting, and that'd be really cool to try. I feel like maybe I can have some fun with that. And one of the things that I was looking at as I was starting my time in doing Let's Plays was, at the time, more than 10 years ago, I didn't really see a lot of LGBTQ plus friendly Let's Players, at least not that I could find. Now, today, they're all over the place, which is awesome, but I really didn't see very many of them, and so I thought it would be really interesting to provide something to the YouTube Let's Play community that just wasn't really very prevalent at the time, and so I started doing gay Let's Plays, and all that is a Let's Play where the main protagonist, the main character, just happens to be gay. Just happens to be. And it's been such a fun ride. I've Let's Played all of the Dragon Age games from Origins through Inquisition. If you're interested in any of those, I'll have links below. I've also done a lot of analysis videos on all of the trailers leading up to the Dragon Age Veilguard release. I've also done a lot of analysis videos on the characters, each individual companions in Dragon Age. If you're interested in those, I'll put the links on the table. But anyway, just to wrap things up, because I know a lot of you just want me to shut up and play the game already, but if you're that kind of person, just understand I am the kind of Let's Player who appreciates story first and foremost. I love analyzing characters. I love analyzing the plot and how things flow. So I am the type of Let's Player who likes to take a pause every now and then as it's necessary whenever things pop into my head and I feel like there's something interesting or significant for me to talk about or discuss, especially based on something that's relevant to what's happening on the screen in front of me. I kind of like to, just dig very deep into it and just really like break it apart and kind of just give my hot take on it, if you will. So if that's something that you believe is more your jam, is more your speed, happy to have you join me on this. If it's not, again, if you just want me to shut up and play the game the whole time, I'm just going to be very transparent with you. I'm probably not the best video game Let's Player fit for you. But if you're curious and if you want to watch someone who's super passionate about this franchise, who adores this world, adores the lore, adores the characters, and really loves to immerse himself in the narrative and how these characters affect each other and the world around them, I hope you'll enjoy your time with me. So, enough of that. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Press any button. Alright, where's the any button? I'm just going to press this button. We'll go through all of this, agreements. By the way, as I go through all of the, the settings and everything, I wanted to give a quick shout out to a friend who gifted the Veilguard, the deluxe edition of the Veilguard to me thank you so much. You know who you are if you're watching. I appreciate it. As somebody who absolutely adores this franchise like I do, and I'm so passionate about it, this gift will be put to good use. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for gifting this game to me. I am so excited.
I knew him as Solus.
Varric!
Smart, thoughtful.
Yes.
Loved to hear himself talk.
I love
But long
Varric.
ago, he had a different name. The Dreadwolf. Ancient elven god of lies, or heroic rebel against tyranny. Depending on which story you believe. In his desperate fight against the corrupt elven gods, Solus imprisoned them, creating a veil that split our world from the raw magic of the Fade. He had won. But the veil cost the elves everything. Their magic, their freedom, even their immortality. Now, Solus wants to tear down that veil and undo the damage he caused, even if that means our world has to burn. Somebody's gotta stop him, and that's where you come in.
So excited! Yeah! Character creator! Okay. It's time to build our main protagonist. In this case, our Rook, which is what our character is going to be referred to as. So, I thought a long time about the type of character I'm going to play. I'm still torn between what race I'm going to play as. I went in really wanting to play as a Qunari mage. By default, I tend to be a white mage, like a healer, priest, cleric kind of character. They don't have clerics in this game, so I just default to the mage. I just love magic. I am not a big sword and board, physical fighter kind of person. I mean, in real life, if I was in a fantasy setting, I can see myself way more as a mage, like squishy mage versus a warrior anyway. So that's what I gravitate towards too. But ever since the Qunari were introduced as a race in the last game, I just think that they're very unique. I tend to shy away from being human because I'm already human. You know, I don't mean to say it, don't take this the wrong way, but I tend to feel like in fantasy games, role-playing a character, playing a character as a human is a little boring. Boring to me in the sense that I already know what being a human is like. I want to take advantage of a fantasy setting to be something that's a bit different from me, but still has roots of me personality-wise. So that's essentially how I'm going to play my Rook, is somebody who isn't me clearly, but sort of represents me, and a large part of myself, of course, is built into the core of the character. But you can play as an elf, descendants of an ancient fallen empire, pushed to the margins in the past. Some elves are building a brighter future by exploring their civilization's lost wonders, and I can cycle. Oh, that's cool. That's neat. You can kind of see. Okay. And then Qunari. Feared and envied for their size and strength, some Qunari follow a strict philosophy from their homeland, while others joined different cultures generations ago. Awesome. I have heard so many great things about the character creator and how this is by far BioWare's best character creator to date, and probably rivals a lot of character creators of other games currently in the market, which I'm very excited about. Human, an ambitious and prosperous people. Humanity's various kingdoms are the ascendant powers of this age. And then finally, dwarf. If I could play a dwarf mage in this game, I would, because I played a city elf in Origins. As for my main character, for my Let's Plays, a city elf in Origins. I played a human because I had to play human. Hawk was a human. in Dragon Age 2, I played a Qunari in Dragon Age Inquisition. And while I did replay a Let's Play of Dragon Age Inquisition, not just once, but twice, by creating a Dwarf Inquisitor as well as an Elven Inquisitor, I haven't had a main Dwarf Dragon Age character in my Let's Plays yet, so in order to fill that gap, I would love to play a Dwarf in this game, but unfortunately they can't be mages, and I really, really want to play a mage. So, yeah, while clever and tough in equal measure, dwarves cannot dream or wield magic, but possess a mysterious and ancient bond with Earth. While dwarves cannot use magic, their combat skills are feared towards status. It's good that they sort of put this warning here for people who are not familiar with the lore. There is a lore reason why dwarves cannot cast magic, so it's good that they put that there. I'm going to start by creating a Qunari Rook first, and just see if I can get the right look. If I can get my character to look the way I really want them to look like, then I'll go Qunari. If I can't, then I'll go Elf. So let's attempt a Qunari for right now. Because I want my Qunari to look unique and still relatively different from my Inquisitor Qunari from my previous game, who is Art Adar, who I absolutely miss. So let me choose a base appearance. Select a preset appearance for your character and continue or press customize to elaborate your choice. Now, what I was told was that, yes, the character creator is very extensive, but it is, it does make a lot of impact, what your base preset that you start with, because the base preset that you select sort of defines how the rest of the sliders work. And so, I want to keep that in mind. These are some very cool female Qunari of different shapes and sizes and different complexions. I'm curious about all of these options. Ooh, this was an Asian looking Qunari would be really interesting. Very interesting, huh? That is kind of cool. I like how slim this Qunari is. So, and yeah, my character is a mage, so I'm not expecting my Qunari to be like, I kind of like this a bit. This looks a bit magey for me. So my Art Adar was a lot broader by default because I couldn't really adjust his body type. So I think having another Qunari protagonist in my Dragon Age games that is a bit slimmer by comparison would be a nice contrast. I absolutely love the pronouns she, her, they, them. My character will consider themselves a he, him for the pronouns. Gender will be man. Rook's pronouns determine how he is addressed in the game, or how she is addressed in the game, how they are. Yeah, that was a good touch. I was hoping that they changed the pronouns accordingly with that tooltip. Gender, Rook's gender reflects how he sees himself, does not affect gameplay, as it shouldn't. It really should not. Woman, non-binary. Cool. Yeah, for right now, he's a he, him, he's a man. I'll go with that. Appearance, you can customize, you can adjust the appearance of your character by using the customize option below. Let's do that. Fair warning, if you've seen me play previous RPG games like this with the character creator, it's going to take a while for me to figure things out. I may speed up the camera, I may skip around and cut things, but I'll at least share as much of my first impressions, my first reactions to the character creator for those of you who are interested in seeing that. So, head shape, I'm set features to default. For the best blending experience, we recommend setting all facial feature sliders to their base value. This can be done from the reset button at a later time. Would you like to do this now? Sure. Why not? Okay. Head shape is determined by morphing 3 models together. Select heads to morph and use a slider to adjust how they blend. Swap between the 30 available heads using up, down, left, right keys to select a head. So this one adjusts. Interesting. Interesting, like, okay, I slide it this way, and then, oh, I slide it this way, I slide it that way. Alright, okay. So it was about here. The biggest thing I need to do first and foremost, because that pretty much helps determine what the rest of him looks like, is the hair. Hairstyle and color. Yes. For any of you who have seen my Let's Plays in the past, you know where I'm going with this. I'm going all ginger, baby. All ginger. I think Art Adar, if I remember correctly, was more of this strawberry, this lighter ginger. Yeah, I have pulled up in front of me right now what Art Adar looks like, and his hair is more of this tone. So I think for my Rook, he's going to be a very, like, deep ginger this time, which I think will be very suitable for him. Let me also adjust, before I go into the hairstyle, the horns are basically the ones that I think can make or break the look, the overall look, and whether or not I'm happy with my Kianari Rook. I kinda want my horns to be as unassuming as possible, personally. But I don't necessarily think that they need to be sawed off, per se. So this is very close to the horns that my Inquisitor had, so I'm not gonna choose the spiral one. This is cute. I'm not a huge fan of how ginormous the forehead is with the horns. That's my only critique. I think that they did a much better job blending the horns with the Kianari in Inquisition and even in Dragon Age 2, I think. I know that the hair choices are limited. Oh! Yo! That looks kind of cool! Yo! That looks kind of cool, not gonna lie. I personally normally don't like longer hair, but the way it sort of cascades through his horns is kind of neat, not gonna lie. I kind of like that a lot. I'm gonna take note of that, so that's number 9. A little too much. Okay, yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard because you can't really see the hair very well in the front as much. Yeah, like, this is cool, but I like this one, but you can't see it very well because of his... It looks neat, but you can't see it very well because of his horns and his forehead. I'm wondering if I can adjust the forehead down a bit. This is neat. If this is the hair I tend to go for, if I could see it. 23 is one I would like to, is more of my speed. I like 22 also. It sticks out a little bit more through the horns. Yeah. This one is just, there's just something about this that draws me. Alright, let's go to the body. Undergarments. Nice, interesting. You can select... Got it. You can select undergarments. Okay. He's relatively modest about his body, so I think I'm gonna go with that, just because. Body shape. Here is where I think it'd be interesting. Okay. I see. I don't want him too skinny. A little bit more muscular. I'm fine the way his body was. Body proportions. Height. Here it is. Do I want to be really tall? I kind of want to be a shorter Kenari, honestly. I kind of want to be shorter. Shoulder width. Reset it back to what it was. Chest size. I don't mind. I don't mind pecs. I don't mind giving pecs. -20. I think -20 is fine. Hip width. I think that was fine. Reset. Glute size. 0%. He's got quite a bit in his trunk. I kind of want my character to have a little bit of a booty, honestly. I mean, come on, it's my fantasy, so bulge size. The bulge, I really don't care. Yeah, I'm like, just keep that 0%. I don't care about that. But I do kind of want a little junk in my trunk. I do want a little bit of a booty. Shoulder width is fine. Height-wise, I kind of want to bring myself down. I want to be a shorter Kenari. Yeah. I wasn't able to control my height in Dragon Age the Veilguard, and I just towered over everyone, and I kind of want to be, you know, a little bit more in the extreme, you know? Just for some variety. So I'll make myself the shortest Kenari you can make. Okay. Rugged. So I kind of want my character to be rich, smooth. I want my character rosier, to be a little more mature, a little older, and the reason for that is because I for the first time in a Dragon Age game, I'm going in completely not absolutely sure who I'm going to romance in this game. I hesitate to even say that I'm necessarily leaning on a specific person. This is a gay Let's Play, so it's going to be a male-male romance. And there is a variety of ages that the companions come in. And so I kind of want to create a Rook that is sort of in between the extremes of the companion romanceable ages, the romanceable companions' ages, so that it's easier for me to envision a romance. Age is a number at the end of the day, I get it. But I just am trying to try to find a midpoint, so it's easier for me to envision romancing someone of either extreme, if I had to go that route. Rosie is interesting. I like Rosie. Weathered. Dark circles, birthmark. Even. Freckled. I kind of like rugged. Not going youthful because we want to be a little rugged. I like rugged too. Rugged one is cool too. I'm happy with the eyes. Eye color is big. Has 2 different colors. I kind of want to do heterochromia a little bit. But kind of. We'll see. Bloodshot. Oh man. Cataracts. Interesting. Sclera color. Oh. Interesting. Color preset. Silver. Oh. That is so cool. Blue-gray. Blue. Blue-green. Green. Hazel. Amber. Brown. Violet. That's what arts was violet. Violet hazel. Black. Pink. Silver eyes looks really, really neat. Can I give my hair, like... Oh, yeah, here we go. I want it to be bright, but I also kind of want to look a little, like a little weathered. Like a little faded, slightly faded, so it looks like he's... Hold on. Let's do facial hair. This sort of reminds me of my Baldur's Gate 3 character a bit. Cord had hair similar to this, and I'm kind of rocking it. Oh, that's cute. 30. It sort of's got a little bit of an Irish leprechaun kind of thing going, which I kind of really like. Yeah. Oh, I like that also. I like that a lot too. Oh, I like this. Yeah, the stubble, I'm a big fan of the stubble. I'm a big fan of this stubble. That one looks a little too scraggly. I want to look a little more groomed. I like that a lot. Yeah. I also kind of like the longer hair, even though I tend to like shorter hair, because the hair physics in this game are mwah, chef's kiss. So impressive. I kind of want to take advantage of that. Oh yeah. Look at that. I'm very happy. I'm very happy because I think the longer hair, because it's covering part of his forehead, is it accentuates his forehead, his massive forehead, less, which is why I like it. Okay. I like it red, but I want to age him slightly. This will age him slightly. I think having it a 72 70 will age him slightly. Yeah. Yeah. I think 70, because this is when he was really young. This is when he was younger, probably in his 20s, early 30s. This takes him down to about his early 40s, just about. I think early 40s is where I'm getting at right now. I like early 40s. My Rook is looking hot. I'm very happy right now. He's looking really hot. Tattoos, I'm not a big tattoo person, but I'll see what they have. I'll see what they have. Oh! That actually looks pretty cool on him, though. This looks pretty cool. I'm a big fan of that, actually. Yeah, I'm not a big tattoo person, but I kind of like some of this stuff. I don't really... Yeah, left design intensity. Oh, and you can... You can... Oh! That's a game changer to me. I like this a lot. I like this a lot. Yeah. Yeah. I'm tattoos is not for me, or even in other guys, but I think for my Rook, that looks pretty good. That looks good. Oh, that looks good. I think that's awesome. Tattoo design, body tattoo. So this is face tattoos, body tattoos. Oh, that one looks... Oh, I like that one. That one looks cool. Not sure how much I feel about the back, though. This one has some sort of like nautical thing to it, which is interesting. I like the peck one. I like the one on the peck. That one's nice and subtle. I like the subtlety of that a little bit. This one is... okay. Chest intensity. Back design intensity. Not a big fan of the back. Left arm intensity. Oh. I like that one. I like that one. Right arm intensity. Oh. Not as... That one's a little too intense for me. Yeah. This... I like that the tattoos are on his left because I'm left-handed. I kind of would imagine if my Rook was going to be left-handed or right-handed, his dominant hand would be left. So that's where I'm going with there. I love so many options. All these options of left leg intensity. Not a big fan of that one. Right leg intensity. Not a big fan of that one either. I'm gonna leave the tattoos. Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. We can change the different lightings. Interesting. So we can see what he looks like in different lightings. Oh, wow. Interesting. Interesting. Huh. I love that they did this. So if we want to make some adjustments, I really like that they did this. Paint style? Oh, I see. I don't really... I'm not really digging the paint. I'm good with that. Yeah, there's... You can put body paint on too. I think I'm good with paint. Scars, I'm not sure about. We'll see. Wow, okay, we've got some pretty intense ones. Interesting. Oh, I kind of like the subtle nose scar. I kind of like the subtle nose scar a little bit. It makes him a little adds a little bit of sexiness to it. All right. I think at long last, canceling custom will remove all changes. No, I don't want to cancel it. Like, except I was like, I spent how many hours? I went like more than an hour on this. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So, let's accept the changes. I think I am happy with how my Rook looks. Yeah, this is neat. I'm a big fan of how my Rook looks overall. Let's accept the changes. Yes! Look at him. There's my Rook. He looks so good. I'm so happy. He looks so good. Alright. You can adjust the appearance of your character by using customize. Alright. Wow! Oh! I'm so look at him in his armor! He looks so cute! Starting outfit. Okay. And casual wear. Alright. Interesting. Class. Aspirational, I see. Outfit preview. Class, Warrior. Warriors command the flow of the battlefield. Some lay waste with sword and shield, while others use a two-handed weapon and send enemies flying. Nice. Warriors can specialize in specific forms of combat. Reaper. Become a knight's blade, steal life, and risk death to gain incredible natural abilities. Slayer. Leap into the fray, wield massive, punishing weapons while rushing enemies to deal devastating blows. Champion. Be the shield, shrug off damage while summoning righteous fire down on the enemies. Let's go to Warrior or Rogue. The Rogue's hallmarks are quick movement and reflexes. Whether wielding a bow or dual swords, they use powerful, precise strikes for lethal damage. Specialization. Rogues can specialize in specific forms of combat. Duelist. Draw your steel, parry and dodge past enemies to gain strength with every strike. Saboteur. Set the stage. Deploy explosives and turrets that devastate enemies, then pick them off with arrows. Veil Ranger. Hunt the enemy, snipe enemies from afar using artifacts that charge arrows with dangerous, powerful magic. Really, I love how they're bringing more magical elements to the non-magical classes via the specializations. I love that. And then finally, the class that I am actually going to choose, which is near and dear to my heart, is the Mage. Mages rain down fury with spells that incinerate, freeze, electrocute, and crush. Some cast from afar, while others prefer close quarters combat. Okay. Mage specializations. Death Caller. Embrace the dark. Drain life from enemies and cast spells that writhe with the essence of death itself. Evoker. Call the void. Freeze enemies in their tracks that summon the deepest cold to tear them apart. Or the Spellblade. Oh, that looks really neat. Be the Storm. Be the Storm. Channel potent spells for close quarters combat with Lightning's Wrath. Cool. I will select this class. Nice. Backstory. Your faction. Here's another huge major choice for my my character. So do I want to be... Oh gosh, he looks so good. Grey Wardens. Your faction choice influence Rook's backstory and conversation choices. Rook is a Grey Warden, an ancient military order sworn to battle Darkspawn and other monsters. That the Wardens undergo secret, unbreakable rights that grant them supernatural powers against the dark. Bonded in blood. Gain reputation with the Grey Wardens more quickly. Blight Killer. Deal increased damage versus Darkspawn. Vigilant training, base defense, and health are slightly increased. Veil Jumpers. Oh, he looks good. He looks good in this outfit. Look at this. Look at that hair, man. Oh my gosh, my Rook. Look at this. Look at this. Rook is a Veil Jumper. This starting group explores ancient elven ruins in Arlathan Forest. Although founded by elves, they welcome anyone brave enough to face Arlathan's reality warping magic. I just based on the outfit, it just fits so perfectly with his look. I'm tempted to choose Veil Jumpers. Orange is also my favorite color. That being said, this is not the outfit that we're going to start with. This is aspirational armor. This is the starting outfit, so not going to base it based on that. But close the veil, gain reputation with the Veil Jumpers more quickly, attune strikes, deal increased damage versus Fade Touched, and Keen Eye, deal slightly increased critical and weak point damage. Shadow Dragons. Oh, wow. This is amazing. Compared to the starting outfit, this is amazing. Rook is a Shadow Dragon. This underground resistance opposes corrupt rulers, and slavery in Tevinter. Coming from all walks of life, they are determined to bring justice to the people. Light in the dark. Gain reputation with the Shadow Dragons more quickly. Never to rise. Deal increased damage versus Venatori. Resourceful. Your class-specific resource regenerates slightly faster. That's actually really nice, actually. Class-specific resource. Lords of... Hello. Heck, wow. Hello, Rook. Lords of Fortune. Rook is a Lord of Fortune, an informal collection of explorers, hunters, and treasure seekers from Ravane. The rowdy lords are famed for both daring exploits and narrow escapes. Together in glory. Gain reputation with the Lords of Fortune more quickly. Healthy competition. Deal increased damage versus mercenaries. Relentless. Perform takedowns on enemies with slightly less effort. The Morn Watch. Rook is a Morn Watcher. This elite necromantic order explores the mysteries of life and death, and tends to be the undead in Nevarra's sprawling Grand Necropolis. Recognized name. Gain reputation with the Morn Watchers more quickly. Return to the grave. Deal increased damage versus undead and demons, which is pretty awesome. Acute afflictions. You can apply an additional affliction stack on targets. And last but not least, the Intivan Crows. This all looks awesome. You look so fabulous. This is still my favorite by far. This is, but this is still cool. Rook is an Intivan Crow. Swift knives in the dark. The Crows are ruthless assassins, both respected and feared as Intiva's shadowy protectors. Under their wing, gain reputation with the Intivan Crows more quickly. Open contract, deal increased damage versus Antem. Hidden pouch holds an extra potion. So, all of these factions are awesome and cool, but the faction that I am the most interested in, the one that I am fascinated in the most, is the Morn Watch. And that's because the Morn Watch comes from Nevarra, which we have had a little bit of exposure to over the years in the Dragon Age lore. I find the Nevarran culture fascinating because of their ties with death, the relationship with death. They have necromancers, they have death magic, but in this lore, in this universe, necromancy is not necessarily seen as an automatic evil thing. It definitely has a lot of stigma in, say, Dungeons and Dragons, in the Tolkien universe. If you're a necromancer, that's like stereotypically a very vile and evil and looked down upon thing. I think here in Dragon Age, necromancy is a more of a taboo thing. There certainly are people who think negatively against necromancy and death magic, understandably so, based on the standards of our real life society. But I just find that the Morn Watchers and just the fact how much death is embedded in the religion to be so interesting. As a fairly religious person myself in real life, I really want to embrace what it's like to be a member of this faction, and I just want to learn more about Navarra. I think Navarra has a very rich culture that we haven't had as much exposure to. We know a lot about the Grey Wardens. We know a lot about the Antivan Crows because of Zevran from Dragon Age Origins. Yes, the Veiled Jumpers are very new, which would be... Veiled Jumpers would have been my second choice. Especially because, I mean, look, orange is my favorite color. Look at this. Would have been my second choice. Shadow Dragons are interesting, especially because I like how they oppose slavery in Tevinter. Lords of Fortune is probably the one that I'm least interested in because I'm not really like a thrill-seeking, fortune-seeking kind of person. So Mornwatch is definitely my jam. So I am going to go with this. Backstory, Defender of the Dead. When restless spirits threatened the inhabitants of the Grand Necropolis, Rook took decisive action to protect both the living and the dead. Discovered by undead inside a Grand Necropolis tomb as an infant. Oh! He was discovered by undead. Wow. Inside a Grand Necropolis tomb as an infant, Rook was raised by Mornwatch necromancers, eventually joining the Order. So we don't even know who his parents were. I don't have a... Wow. My history is a mystery. That's interesting. During a civil war between undead nobility, known later as the War of the Banners, he led a daring attack on the rebellion's dueling leaders. It was a success, quelling the war and saving lives, but Rook's destruction of these undead nobles was controversial. Huh, interesting. Some Mornwatchers feared Rook had offended the Order's aristocratic patrons and encouraged him to travel for a while. Huh, alright, that's a really interesting backstory. Okay. I'll select this faction. Ooh. Combat Preset Adventure. Here for action adventure. A balanced experience that places equal emphasis on combat, party composition, and equipment choices. Keeper. A balanced combat experience that emphasizes party composition and equipment choices over reaction times. Storyteller. A plunge into story with more forgiving combat. Underdog. Overcome punishing odds and save the world from unforgiving enemies. Nightmare. Overwhelming battles that give no quarter, requires a mastery of combat, equipment, and skills to survive. And selecting Nightmare cannot be undone without starting a new playthrough. That's interesting. I like that they did that, actually. And it's good that they warn you about that. Here to chart a new path. Customize all settings. Some settings may impact your enjoyment if customized. If this is your first time, consider a curated preset instead. Let's start with Adventure, which is a balance of incoming damage, enemy aggression, tactical challenge, and defend timing. I do like a good mix of both. I am here first and foremost about the story and the plot and the character relationships and the character composition. However, I do like to have some strategy in my game, as long as it's not to the point of outer frustration, you know. So I'm going to go with Adventure from now, balanced. We'll see how it goes, and we can tweak it from there. So, the name. So, while your character is going to be known as Rook, that apparently is not their actual name, or at least the name that they were given. So, I was trying to think about what would be a good name for my Rook. I don't want to reuse names that I've done in the past. You know, my Warden was Angelus. My Hawk was Clive, and my Inquisitor was Art Adar. I was trying to come up with a name that fell in line with the theme of someone in the Mornwatch, someone who specializes in death magic. And so I was thinking of positive names, positive words that were either synonyms of death or synonyms of the soul or synonyms of spirit. I was thinking of calling my character Soul, S-O-L, or even soul spelled uniquely like XOL, but I thought that was far too close to the name Soulless. So I thought that wouldn't probably be it. And I started thinking more about, so if we're trying to look at death in less of a negative light or less of a fearful or scary light, or at minimum, if we're looking at it more as a neutral thing, I'm thinking some of the positives things you could say about death is it's your final rest, right? It's a chance for you to release yourself and let yourself go and just go into that final rest. And I'm thinking, okay, like meditation, I'm thinking solitude, I'm thinking Zen, like sort of having a sense of Zen, spiritual balance, things of that nature. I thought Zen would be a really cool, punchy name for my character as somebody from the Mornwatch. And so I was going to name him Zen, but actually with a different spelling, Zen, X-E-N, which I think is a relatively Kianari sounding name anyway. So not only does I think it fits sort of the theme of being a death mage, but in a positive spin, I think that would be, Zen feels good. The last name is derived from our faction in Gelvar. Zen in Gelvar. I think that rolls off the tongue decently well. I think it fits the whole vibe that I'm trying to get. And I don't know, I think Zen kind of fits the personality of my Rook. I'm still feeling out ultimately what his personality is going to be like. I just kind of have to get a feel for how the character is presenting himself and how the dialogue and the voice actor is doing as he's delivering the lines. And, you know, when I'm selecting tones, I'm still feeling him out. I want him to probably be less even keel. I feel like my Art Adar was pretty... Yeah, I think a good way I could describe Art. He's very even keel. He's very anchored. He's calm and tries to keep a clear head even under duress. And I think he's very good about that. But I kind of would love for Zen to be a little bit more emotionally expressive, hopefully. Especially because when you're thinking of somebody who is a death mage, you may not necessarily think of them as being like bubbly or being like super extroverted and super warm and friendly. And I kind of want to move towards that direction, not to an extreme. I'm not thinking Elle Woods from Legally Blonde. Like, that's not what I'm thinking, but probably somebody who does tend to break the mold of what you may initially envision a death mage would be like. I think that someone like Emmerich, I think the character Emmerich already sort of turns the idea of a necromancer on its side. And I want Zen to do the same thing, but not in the same way necessarily through his personality. I think he's still going to be a very like different person from someone like Emmerich. And I'm actually, by choosing the Mornwatch as my faction, I'm especially excited at the idea that perhaps we have already have had an established friendship or relationship, maybe working relationship at minimum, with Emmerich, or at least know of each other, and hopefully that will help us become BFFs faster. Because Emmerich is one of the characters that I was immediately excited about with all the campaigns that were introduced. So let's look at voice acting. Rook's voice. Confirm and continue by pressing V.
I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad you're here.
Oh, I like that.
I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here.
Wow, nice. I like these names, and I can change the pitch
here.
too. So I love both of these voices.
I'm glad you're here.
Art Adar, the Inquisitor, I could choose between an American-sounding accent versus a British-sounding accent, and for Art, I gave him the more American-sounding accent, which is why I feel like, just for diversity's sake, I would like for my Rook to then have a British-sounding accent. The other thing that I think is cool is, and when I'm actually seeing and hearing Rook or Zen, when I see Zen speak this verbal dialogue,
I'm glad you're here.
I don't know. I feel like
I'm glad you're here.
I feel like the British one for me sounds more fitting with his overall look and his overall vibe. I kind of want Zen to be a little dashing, a little bit dashing, a little charming, you know. And I feel like the British voice actor is going to do well. The other ulterior motive of why I really want to choose the British accent is because I know that the voice actor for the British accent Rook is Alex Jordan, who I absolutely fell in love with his work, in particular when I was playing Telltale Games' The Game of Thrones video game. Alex Jordan voiced, I think, Asher, was hands down my favorite character in that game, and was just absolutely loved Asher to death. I thought Alex Jordan did a great job with him, and during one of my streams, my live streams, as I was Let's Playing the Telltale Games' Game of Thrones video game, Alex Jordan actually attended my stream and started chatting with me right out of the blue. I fangasmed like no other. So, and I've tried really hard to maintain my excitement, but I just, looking back on it, I'm horrifyingly embarrassed at how much I was fangasming over Alex Jordan there. I felt like I scared him off. So, Alex Jordan, if you're watching, my apologies. I wasn't trying to scare you in any way. I'm so sorry. But it just meant a lot to me that you were there supporting your fans of your work. I'm a huge fan of your work in this game, or at least I know I will be a huge fan, especially because you will be voicing my main Rook or Zen, and I'm very excited about that. Do I want to change this pitch at all?
I'm glad you're here.
Oh.
I'm glad you're here.
I'm
glad you're here.
I think this sounds good for a Qunari in general, but my Qunari, I think, given his personality, I think he should have the higher pitch of the two.
I'm glad you're here.
Yeah. Confirm and continue by pressing V. Yeah, I like this. Okay. Zen in Gelvar, masculine voice, medium. Past adventures, the Inquisition. You can customize the main character and a few events from previous Dragon Age game Inquisitions. This will have some minor effects on the story, but can be skipped if you wish to move on. No, I'm gonna customize it. Yes. Past adventures, the Inquisition. Murderer, Herald, Judge, Savior. These were some of the titles heaped on the Inquisitor as he, my Inquisitor was a he, led a force that challenged nations. 8 years ago, a catastrophic breach in the Fade realm of magic and dreams threatened the world. Through circumstances or some claim of fate, a woman rose. Let me make changes right now. So, I'm gonna just very quickly... Oh, this looks just like... This looks exactly like the character creator in the Inquisition. That is a cool touch. That is a super cool touch. It is exactly... Oh my gosh. BioWare, mwah, chef's kiss. I did not expect it that you would harken. The Nostalgia Man. Okay, Qunari, feared and envied for their size and strength. Some Qunari followed a strict philosophy from their homeland, while others joined different cultures generations ago. If this is the exact same description as they had in the Dragon Age Inquisition, I would be so amazed. Alright, let me go through the appearance very quickly. Yeah, I didn't spend an exorbitant amount of time on my Inquisitor, but I just got him to the point where I felt like he looks very similar to how he looked in Inquisition, but with added weathering. I aged him a bit, and I gave him, gave him a bit of some stubble, because, like I said, he's been through a lot. Hoping that, okay, you can adjust the appearance, okay, appearance, and then you can adjust the appearance by your character using the customizer there. All right, art. There we go. Art Adar. He was American voice.
It's good to see you again.
Yes, that's him. It's Art's voice.
It's good to see you again.
I love how he says it's good to see you again. Like he's telling you, the player, hey, it's been a while, right? For me, it's been 10 years.
It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you again, Art. Oh my gosh, Art Adar is here. He's back. And I think as a Qunari, I can sort of see Zen, my Rook, sort of looking up to him, aspiring to him. Even though they probably, honestly, are most likely very close in age. Probably very close in age with each other. Since my Rook, my Zen, is meant to be slightly older than my previous characters, at least, that I've made in the past. Okay. Customize the world state. Inquisitor Dar was the Qunari mercenary used in the thick of the fight. His hard-won experience led to many victories and eventually led to the Inquisition. This is important. World state. Decide whether the Inquisitor was romantically involved, and if so, with whom. I'm still bummed that you can't romance Cullen as a gay character. That's fine. That's fine. Neither could you do Blackwall. We had Dorian. Oh, I love Dorian. I miss Dorian. I'll be so excited to see him again in this game and hear his voice. Dorian Pavas. When the Northern Mage came to the Inquisition looking for help, he discovered a love enduring and rare. Born and raised in the Tevinter Imperium, Dorian hadn't, though. That should be thought. Come on, BioWare. This is the first part of the game. We haven't even started the game. This is the very beginning, and we have these typos. Dorian hadn't thought he'd find much to impress him when he traveled south. But as he and the Inquisitor became drawn to each other, their attraction bloomed into a deep and caring relationship that endured even after Dorian reluctantly returned home. But I want to know more about that. I want to know more about what the relationship's been like since then. Have they been doing a long-term thing? That's what it seemed like, at least at the beginning. Did Art eventually join him in Tevinter? It'd be really cool, since I'm pretty darn sure we're going to be going to Tevinter. The fate of the Inquisition. The Inquisition grew too powerful too quickly for the comfort of the world's great kingdoms. They called a council, demanding it be brought to heel. Did I disband, or did I give it to the Chantry? I did not disband. The Inquisition. The Inquisition forces were absorbed into the body of the Chantry. It wasn't surprising when the Inquisitor relinquished power to the Chantry. The Inquisition was founded by one of its most faithful knights and had ties to its new leader, Divine Victoria. Some members of the Inquisition simply became part of the Chantry hierarchy, while others went their own way. I'm kind of surprised, though, that one of the world states that you can select did not include who is the Divine. Is it Liliana, is it Cassandra, or is it Vivienne? And if it was Liliana, was she a hardened or softened Liliana? I'm very surprised by that, because I feel like that would be a huge thing, a huge detail to include in the storyline, but we'll see. I will reserve my judgment until later. And then lastly, did we vow to stop Solus, or did we try to help Solus? When Solus told the Inquisitor he intended to merge the physical world and the Fade, he admitted this world would cause death and destruction. Despite insisting there was no other way, Solus did not relish the cost in lives. For my Inquisitor... Oh no, Art's hand! That's right! Even though we were creating our Inquisitor, we didn't see the hand, the removed hand. Maybe he got a prosthetic. You know what? That's probably what happened. Maybe they gave him a prosthetic, which are clearly a thing, as you'll find out soon if you don't know already. Prosthetics are clearly a thing in this game, or in this world. Vowed to save Solus from himself, Solus vanished in order to put his plans into motion. The Inquisitor refused to give up on him. The Inquisitor believed he saw genuine regret in Solus and that he didn't truly want to go through with his plans. He vowed to save his friend from dooming both the world and himself. The Inquisitor's influence had diminished, but he still had contacts who began searching for the Dread Wolf. I'm sure this will come into play, continuing into the story. Cool. Finalize past adventures. There we go. I am, to be honest, seriously disappointed that they didn't incorporate the Dragon Age Keep into this game, because that was the whole point. Was from this point forward, this is something they can use in future games, and even if they didn't use every single detail, because I admit there's so many things in there in the Keep that utilizing all of the details in the Keep is not necessary for future games, but they could have still used it just for some. And I know a lot of people were in an uproar as to how few choices you could put into the world state in this game. I still am very disappointed and skeptical about that. However, I will not fully judge it until I've actually played through the game and saw for myself. I'm keeping an open mind. I'm keeping an open mind that those three things, those three variables, are enough, and because I don't need them again to have us take every single decision that we've made, even in Inquisition, even in just the previous game, into account. The one that I am surprised by and shocked that we aren't incorporating again is who is the Divine. Maybe we're not going to interact with the Divine at all, which I would be a little disappointed in, because that was such a big deal. That was such a huge decision to be made, and that was such a huge impact in the world state. I feel like whoever is Divine definitely has influence on the world and how it is, including in the areas that we're going to be traveling in this game, which is why that's the one thing that I'm shocked about and surprised. Really? That's not included in here? But I'm going to wait and see. 8 years ago, a catastrophic breach in the Fade, realm of magic and dreams, threatened the world. Through circumstance or some claim of fate, a man rose to lead an organization known as the Inquisition. Traveling many lands, rallying people to his cause, the Inquisitor closed the breach and stopped the villain behind it. He was advised throughout and by an elven mage named Solus. The Inquisitor discovered, however, that Solus was in truth an ancient elven god, Fen'Harel, the Dreadwolf. He planned to restore things to their primal state. When the Fade and physical reality were one, Solus said he regretted the deaths this would cause, but claimed there was no other way to fix what was, to his eyes, an irredeemably broken world. After that, the Dreadwolf vanished, but the Inquisitor swore to find him. Okay.